Okay, we're going to figure out this Obamacare thing. Here's how I see it. Um, I don't really like the idea of having health insurance because I already think it's a scam enough that they require us to have car insurance. Let me talk about cars really quick, okay? So we have two parties, and there's like a car accident, okay? So then all of a sudden there's like a financial mess, and instead of going at each other in a lawsuit, they go through the insurance companies. So the insurance companies sue each other, but they put your names on it. So it looks like you're suing each other, but it's really the insurance company. Okay, anyway. Um, so I've been paying them all this time, and this guy's been paying them all this time. But when the time comes to pay out, see, I don't know if most people know about this, but the insurance companies hire tons of people to sit there in front of computers and talk on the phones, and they have attorneys and all this other stuff, and their job is to minimize the payouts. All this money that we've been giving to the that we've been required, we are required to keep paying the insurance companies, and when the time comes for them to pay up, often they get out of it. They deny coverage. So where's all this money going that you've been spent? If the whole thing's a scam, it's So what I'm afraid of with the healthcare thing is, in the current system, you go to the hospital, and they can't deny you coverage, they have to work on you. So then they send you a bill, and you're expected to pay them. And if you don't, then they have to go through a court, and then they obligate you to pay. And if you still can't pay, they'll do wage garnishments and you know liens, whatever else. So what they want to require us to do is they want to require each of us to pay an external for-profit company. So pretty much they're going to make all of the citizens customers of these insurance companies. So what I want to know is, how do I start an insurance company? Because this is going to be a good business to get in if everybody's going to be required to buy from you. If I was a pizza guy and Congress had a compelling reason and Supreme Court approved it, and they were going to force everybody to get pizza once a day, that'd be pretty good for my business. So anyway, they're going to pay the hospital. You go to the hospital, you get treatment from the hospital, insurance company is supposed to pay. Well, if all the money that you put into the insurance company and then some went to the hospital, then insurance company wouldn't profit. So in order for the insurance companies to profit, they have to make sure they're taking in more than what they're paying out. So again, we're going to have hundreds, thousands of people whose job it is to sit there in front of computers and try to get lawyers involved and try to come up with reasons why they shouldn't actually pay out for what it is. Meanwhile, you're going to be required to continually give them money anyway. Sometimes you'll be forced to pay on your own, just like how with the cars, that kind of happens too. But I think it's unconstitutional to require us to have car insurance. I think that's a scam. I mean, it should be up to the risk of the individual to decide whether or not driving on the road is worth it. It's not, by the way. Just like, now see, over here, I'm pretty much required to sign up to be a person. It's, I'm just saying, no thanks. Alright? No thanks. I don't want the insurance. I don't want to have to pay for it. I shouldn't have to. And that's my risk that I'm taking. And in the original deal, the reason why we got into this place in the first place was because we had a sweet setup, like It's a lot of responsibility that comes with freedom, and we don't want that responsibility anymore. So we're just allowing them to do things like that, setting us up so we have more things that we have to pay for every month, and that's going to give us just less liberty. And who benefits from this insurance deal? It's the insurance companies, obviously. If they wanted to keep costs low, then why don't we just go to force people to pay with cash up front at the hospital before they get any care? I know that's kind of hard to do when you bring somebody in who just got a bullet in the chest, so, that's, well, okay, if you don't want to be, look at it this way, if you don't want to help people, if you don't want to treat the guy who comes in with a bullet wound, and you're so worried about the money, don't open up a hospital, okay? Don't get into the business. There should be no such thing as for-profit hospitals. That should be outlawed. That should be illegal. A for-profit hospital. Are you ridiculous? It's not like you're working on cars or making pizza. Like you're dealing with people's lives here. There's a humanitarian angle that's you're missing. So, why do teachers get paid almost nothing and doctors get paid a lot? Shouldn't it be the other way around? I mean, doctors should be in it for the love, right? Anyway, I'm just saying no thanks. I hope that they find this forcing us to get insurance unconstitutional. Because if you don't get in the insurance, they're going to levy fines on you. You have to give the government money that you don't have. Like I don't have the money, so I'm not going to pay the insurance company. And then the government's going to ask for money, and then I'm going to tell them, look, I don't have the money. So then they're going to go through a court, and they're going to put wage garnishments and liens and whatever stuff, maybe even repossess some items. And I'm not the only one they're going to do that to, because there's going to be plenty of people in America who are going to say no thanks to this. You're setting yourself up for a disaster, and you're setting us up to become criminals. Just because of the way you define what's on the piece of paper, just because of the way you make your definitions and stuff. You are altering my relationship with the state, and I do not consent to this. You have to ask me first. But we are no longer in that kind of situation. It's been a long time since the America we've had on paper has existed. They're going to show the Supreme Court justices this, and it's not going to be so easy as looking through the Bill of Rights and trying to see, for one thing, I have a Fifth Amendment right. You can't deprive me of my liberty or my property without due process. And if you go through due process, then you can't, how could you possibly say that I have a obligation to give money to this third party that has nothing to do with my health? It's, number 9, it's not in here. It's not in the articles, and it doesn't say anything about forcing us to sign up for this insurance thing, so you can't just, throw that in here after the fact. Number 10, because this isn't given to the federal government by the Constitution, since it has nothing about forcing us to sign up for something like this, you can't just make that up, and if you did, it would have to be reserved to the states. The states should have the ability to opt out of the healthcare thing. 14th Amendment, you cannot deprive me of my liberty without due process of law, and if you go through due process, then it should be pretty easy for any jury to see that, I guess it is up to the juries, but the juries don't act like the way they used to. I mean, the juries used to look at facts and evidence and have to come up with things. I'm just really worried about this. How are it's extortion. You're going to take more money from me that I don't have, and I don't want it. No thanks.